Welcome to another episode of Purchase to Profits. I'm Seth Ferguson. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss our daily interviews with successful real estate investors. Our guest today has experience in rental properties, syndication, multifamily, and development, and he also holds his real estate license. Tim Landy is with 12 Rivers Realty. Tim, welcome to Purchase to Profits. It's great to have you on the show.
Thank you, Seth. Happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. So to kick things off, do you want to tell us about your real estate goals right now?
Sure. Like we were kind of talking about before you started recording, we have the traditional real estate business where we help, your buyers and sellers that are looking to sell their house, move up into a big house with a growing family, or, we do a lot of relocation business. Another big part of the business is our investor side. So, we represent different investors from anything from multifamily. I've had different real estate funds to try and find them apartment buildings and multifamily to local builders and, rehab clients. And then also doing that on my own as well, whether that's partnering with commercial brokers and syndicating some commercial investments or, taking down a duplex for myself.
Yeah, and you've got you're wearing a bunch of different hats. So how do you kind of structure your day so you can really achieve at a high level at all those different things?
It's learning from people that did it before me and trying to time block and organize your day so you can, not lose sight of one of those spokes on the wheel. But if when I do it properly, they can actually all kind of talk to each other and have some synergy there. Because if I can help a client, let's say I help one of my rehab clients find a new project, I can help them on the purchase and then get them through that project. And then that's a new listing, so I can help them achieve that investment goal of getting their return. But then that's also a listing for my business and a sign in the yard. And so it's just kind of keeping focus on properly time blocking and organizing the time throughout the day, so you're not losing track of one of those buckets of business.
Yeah. And do you have any rituals that you do or routines, maybe daily or weekly, that helps keep you focused?
Well, we have a 7-week-old at the house.
So that's all out the window at this point.
Blown pretty much since then. Pre-baby, I would wake up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, try and get a workout in because that's the pretty much only part of the day I can really protect. Get to the office. Before I get to the office, I like to try and close out any emails that I have. That way, once I get here, I can really focus on, different follow-ups, whether that's with clients, past clients, other agents, and then people that kind of will send deals as well, kind of touching everybody there. And then, that's what the morning is kind of used for. Then the afternoon is walking properties, appointments, new meetings, any kind of networking, coffee meetings. I have the mindset of, the more people you can meet, the more opportunities that will be out there that I can help them and, they can also reciprocate as well.
Yeah, for sure. And maybe you'll be doing some 2:30 a.m. workouts from now on with the baby. So
anytime you can find some time.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm always curious because you've got a couple irons in the fire right now. Did you start selling real estate first, or were you investing then got your license? How did that?
Yeah, so I came from the corporate world, and as I was kind of getting burnt out on the corporate grind, I had some friends that were doing some real estate investing, so I kind of jumped in a little bit with them just to kind of see what that looked like. And then really kind of caught that real estate bug back in like 2012. So that's when I made that decision that I was going to let go of that corporate branch and jump into real estate full time. So it was kind of incorporating both of those. I started off on a team, which was great because you learn a lot of good habits and how to organize transactions, organize your business. And then when I came over on my own to 12 Rivers, I really leaned on that investment side to really grow my business. And, it's a way that, no matter what part of your real estate cycle or real estate career that you're in, it's a way that you can create your own business. If you can find a house or find a project, whether it's for yourself or for a client, I started creating my own listings and creating my own business out of thin air. And that's when that light bulb went off. Let's just keep repeating this over and over and over.
Yeah.
And then my sphere started seeing that I was doing that, and they started asking questions.
Yeah. And at what point did syndication factor into it? Was that further down the road?
Yeah, it was maybe only a couple of years ago when I was introduced to these guys that were running a real estate fund here. And I saw how they were structuring several of their multifamily deals. And then, we were coming across some projects that were maybe a little bit too big from what we were personally doing. But then, just kind of having guys that were in it before I was, and, giving some insight, hey, why don't you do it like this? And then just kind of writing, what they were doing and following along with their advice and how to do it. And so we put our first one together about 2 or 3 years ago, and it worked out really well. And just another one of those light bulb moments. Why don't we just keep rinsing and repeating here? Not reinvent the wheel.
So with that side of your business, is it just strictly multifamily, or are you going into office and retail?
Yeah, mostly multifamily. The biggest one we did was a land banking deal that we put together with a large national apartment developer. There's a commercial broker here that we partnered with, and they were doing a capital raise, and so we decided to take a big chunk of that and kind of pool money together and try and get a good seat at the table for that project, and it turned out really well. And so we actually just did another one. Apple just announced they're doing $1 billion campus in Northwest Austin. Just so happened that we had our partner on the commercial side had land under contract 3 miles away from the new Apple campus. So that certainly helped draw some attention to that.
Yeah. Did you guys have spies in the Apple headquarters? Is that how you got it?
No, it was just kind of that good timing and good fortune there.
Yeah. And as you start scaling to those bigger projects with the syndication, what changes did you have to make about how you thought about real estate that allowed you to move up to that higher level?
That's a good question. I guess it's thinking about it on a bigger scale. It's much more than, just buying a house or selling a house. It's thinking about how, you can manage it on a larger spectrum and how it can provide that return as well. And you think of it more as there's no emotion in it. It's all just pure black and white, pure numbers. And so you're coming at it from a completely different angle, which was a nice approach as well. I love walking buyers through properties that are going to be living there, and they're obviously an extremely emotional transaction. Where on this side, it's all spreadsheet, and the numbers either work or they don't.
Yeah. And do you wish that you started in the bigger projects sooner, or are you happy with your trajectory?
For me personally, I'm happy how everything has panned out. I think it's been a good, kind of hitting certain steps along the way. It's almost like a staircase. I do know some people that they just went right for the kind of the whale hunting right out of the gate, and they're successful at it. I think everyone has their own trajectory. I've certainly enjoyed every step of the way so far, and just looking to kind of stay on that path.
Yeah. And, you've been involved in, hundreds and hundreds of deals. Is there one that stands out as a keystone deal for you?
I'd say that land deal was one of our bigger ones. And then this Apple deal, we definitely raised a lot of money for that. But for me personally, the one that's in our portfolio that I wish I had 20 more of, I'm not sure how familiar you are with Austin. There's a place called the Domain, which is pretty much become our second city center. It's become the second downtown of Austin. It just recently was dubbed Silicon Alley. As Amazon just pulled out of New York, they just signed 145,000 square foot lease in the Domain. So the Domain is high-end shopping, restaurants, entertainment, and now there's offices being built where you have companies like Indeed, Facebook, Amazon. They all have office space there. Well, we have a duplex that's about a mile away. And furthermore, Major League Soccer is bringing a team here, and the new stadium and all that development is about 5 minutes from our duplex. And so we bought this for $225. It was actually on the market. I had it under contract within about an hour of it being listed. Couldn't believe they actually put it on the market. So we're all in. We had to do a $55,000 rehab to it. So, we got it under contract, under list price. We're all in at $265. We have it rented out for almost $3,000 a month with a basis of $265. So that's again, I wish I had 20 more of these.
Okay.
Because now duplex in that same condition is probably about 315 at this point.
Yeah. And you said you had it under contract within the first hour. Did you have like the inside scoop that you knew it was hitting the market, or?
No, it was, I'm an early riser, and luckily the agent put it on the market. It was probably like 7 a.m. on a Saturday. I happened to be on my computer, got the notification. I think by about 8:30, I was up at the duplex walking through. I had my iPad with me, wrote an offer, sent it to them, sent proof of funds, and they accepted it. I think it was if I remember correctly, it was a probate deal, and so the owner had inherited it. She had no interest in owning real estate whatsoever. And so they accepted a quick offer. They probably could have got multiple offers and went well over list price. I was willing to do that, but our inspections turned up some pretty bad foundation and plumbing issues. So we were able to negotiate that price down pretty far.
Well, that's great. And it kind of sounds like the agent representing them on their end didn't really push very hard.
Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah.
I guess that's not my concern because I don't represent the seller in that deal.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. So, when you find those, foundation issues and all that, did you get nervous at all? Or were you considering pulling out, or did you have a pretty good handle on what it would take to do?
That's where we really lean on our, everyone talks about like building your team, having all your different contractors and vendors, just leaning on them to say, all right, how much will it cost to fix it? What's the extent of everything? And then really just putting that into our numbers to see, what do we need for this property to make sense? And everything still fit within our model. And, we decided to move forward with it. And I think that's where it lies the opportunity, because there's a lot of people that would be scared by that and turned away that, they have to jack up the slab a little bit, do some plumbing, do some leveling. Is that going to break some windows and some framing, by, leveling your foundation? And there's definitely some risk going into that, but that one worked out pretty well.
For sure. And is your game plan to do a refi at some point to pull out some capital?
So we did it. So we closed on it cash, and then we were able to do a refi. We put some firm financing on it. We've looked at doing a cash out, and just because we have about 160 in equity on that right now. So we're looking at pulling some of that out. That way we can just continue to do some more projects with it.
Yeah, that sounds great. And so, for you getting involved in real estate, you said you were in corporate before. How has real estate changed your life?
Immensely. One of the things I like about real estate is kind of what we're talking about, all the different avenues and opportunities that you have within real estate. It's kind of what you make of it. You can, if you just want to do 4 deals a year and be a stay-at-home parent, or, you have your other job and you just want to help whenever your best friend raises their hand to buy a house, go do it. Or you're an investor, you want to just represent yourself on all your transactions, you can do just that. Or you want to grow a huge team, you can do that. You want to go into commercial. So that's what I truly liked about it. I like that there's no ceiling. The flip side is there's no regular paycheck. So it's eat what you kill, and what you do today really affects you 30 to 60 days out. And so, but that's the good motivation about it. And I like the fact that, at the beginning of the year, it's not, you're going to make this amount of money. It's, how much do you want to make and provide for your family and start setting up your future long-term.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I always say real estate's lifestyle. It's not a job or a career.
That's absolutely right. There is no clock in, clock out, and then the other part of it is, insider trading is essentially legal here, where, that land deal we did, we had knowledge of several major companies that had purchased land, permits approved. Nothing was announced to the public yet, but we knew several plots of land around us were going to be developed. So that's why we transacted on these 7 acres that were basically surrounded by big future developments that were going to be announced in the Business Journal and all that. And so, if you put that in the stock market, that may have not been, legal, but in real estate, that doesn't exist. So that's what's nice about it.
For sure. And how has working with partners on deals like that allowed you to expand?
It's taking, the way I think about it is, we can each come to an investment with, certain investment, whether that's 10 grand, 20 grand, 50, 100, or we can all pool together and come to the table with 500 grand and go to that sponsor or go or take down that project, and then you can kind of have better leverage or a better seat at the table. And so having the right partners, which I learned, you definitely need the right partners, not just any partner, not just any money, but people that are all on the same page and have the same end goal.
Yeah. So, what sort of things do you look for in a partner? Like, do you have like a checklist kind of thing that you go through?
Not necessarily. A lot of it is you just kind of have to read their personality. I mean, a lot of the people I partner with, I've known for a while, so I already know their personality, their characteristics. What where their moral compass is. And that was something I learned the hard way on my very first flip. Someone that I had to stop my other partner from suing. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, it was a bad, but it was a great education. We didn't lose any money, but we definitely didn't make nearly as much as we had in our pro forma. But like they say, it was a good education. And so now looking forward with partners, it's one, people you want to do business with, you want to spend time with, because you're going to be kind of married to these people throughout that project and future projects. So it's there's definitely that personal level as well, where hey, let's all grow together.
Yeah, no, for sure. And, what would, if you had to go back in time to that first project with that partner that didn't work out, what would you change about how you approach that deal to avoid making those mistakes?
Oh man, where to begin? I think the biggest thing would have had more details on paper. It was my first project, and I think I was just excited to get a deal going. Especially in the beginning, everyone's watching HGTV and I guess now Fixer Upper, and so you just kind of get excited. And you think that's what everything's going to be like, and then when you go through your first one, it's just a completely different show that you're actually watching. And we just didn't have anything, all the details on paper. Our budget was so loose. I kind of did things backwards. I was like, all right, if we can sell for this price and we can keep our budget to X, and we buy it for here, this is a good deal. And so I basically told our contractor, hey, if you can keep our budget under, 40 grand. And so that there was corners that were cut when really the budget probably should have been closer to 65. It was just a very lack of organization and details.
Yeah, no, trial by fire. But you made a good point, because everybody has to get their first deal under their belt, and then you don't know those things until you actually go out and do it.
Sure. And so the next couple I did, I kind of took the backseat to a very seasoned investor. I actually really didn't make that much money on either of those, but it was seeing how he handled everything, and it was very meticulous. Even though it was flipping a couple houses, it was a very well-oiled machine and well-run business. And he treated it like a business, just like if you were opening up any kind of retail shop. There are systems, processes, checks and balances all in place. And that showed me what I needed to do for the next several, whether it's flipping a house or taking on a rental property or not even the syndication deals.
Yeah. And looking ahead in the next 5 to 10 years, where do you see your business going?
Honestly, ramping up more of the investment side of it. I certainly enjoy my retail residential business. I help a lot of families relocate into Austin, and then we have a good network here. So helping people either buy their new house or sell their current one and upgrade to more space, or the opposite, downgrade. It's that empty nester that wants like a downtown condo or something. I truly enjoy that. I'm referral only. I don't do any internet leads, and so anyone that I'm working with is a warm introduction from a friend, family member, past client, and so it makes it so much more enjoyable to work with. So I definitely still enjoy that, but also that development and investment side. Instead of flipping a house, we're looking at a 12 unit development and partnering with, and actually creating a team, like partnering with architects and designers and the local builder, and forming that brand is what we're working on right now.
Yeah, I just think on the investment side, the opportunity to scale is just so much bigger once you get into those bigger projects.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, there's just like any market, there's the players in here that really know what they're doing, put out a good product, have a great business model. And then you have the other end of the spectrum where we're in a hot market, and because they have a pickup truck, they think they're a builder now, and They go to Home Depot and pick out their finishes. Nothing against Home Depot, just saying nothing is planned or meticulous about it, and it sits on the market. And so it's being on that other end of the spectrum. Like, let's do it right. Let's put out some good product, things that you can be proud of. One day drive your kid by there and say, look, we developed that, and something that you kind of want to brag about. And those are the projects that we want to be involved in.
Yeah, no, for sure. So, Tim, if somebody's looking to get in touch with you, maybe learn about the investments you're doing or your residential sales business, where can they find you?
So on Facebook, you can just type my name in. It's Landy, no R at the end. I get called Landry pretty much every week. So it's Tim Landy. Also find me on Instagram, or tim@12riversrealty.com. The 12 is spelled out, is my email address. And that was probably I check those pretty much daily. So if someone sends me a message or connects on there, I'll respond. That's
great. Well, Tim, just want to say thanks so much for taking the time today to share your success with us.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, you're very welcome. And to you, our viewers, I wish you well in your journey from purchase to profits. See you next time.